There we go. Lots of random stuff going on today, boys and girls. Yeah, we're going to do some Webby later. I'm going to take off the Webby title, though. Webby. All right. All right, so I'm just, let's see. Can we get the music started? Are we still going to do some winter music? Maybe. Okay, that's too loud. Or do we have background music? We do have background music. Do we have sounds? We have sounds. Okay, I'm thinking of actually switching out one of the thingamabobs here. Where is delayed capture? Delayed Yeti. There we go. Okay, so now there should be some latency between when I'm speaking and I don't know. Now the latency should be at a different layer, I guess. I've got 150 milliseconds of latency. Let's see what that looks. Let me see what that looks like. I'm gonna go check the stream and see if I can tell. I guess I just need to keep moving my mouth and saying maybe watermelon, 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 watermelon. I need something else to say, and then watermelon. I need something else to say, and then watermelon. I need something else to say, and then watermelon. I need something else to say, and then watermelon. I need something else to say, and then watermelon. I need something else to say, and then watermelon. This is an audio test. That's why I'm repeating watermelon. This is an audio test. That's why I'm repeating watermelon. This is an audio test. That's why I'm repeating watermelon. This is an audio test. That's why I'm repeating watermelon. Okay, is the sound too delayed now? Now I think the sound's too delayed. Let's try 50 milliseconds. I've changed my audio setup. I've changed operating systems, so the latency is probably different. Okay. This looks perfect. Okay. Watermelon. This is an audio test, so I'm going to say watermelon. Watermelon. I think maybe there doesn't need to be any delay. What if I just turn off the delay? What if I make the delay 0 milliseconds? Now I've made it 0 milliseconds. That looks right. I'm confused. I'm very, very confused because when I'm looking at this, gotta fix my hair. It's all wackadoodle. Ah! That's gonna fix it, right? It's gonna make it great. It's gonna make my hair great again. Okay, this looks like there's no audio sync issues. Yeah, I don't. Now I gotta stop listening to myself because it's getting annoying. So I was on a podcast for boot.dev, and my audio is like half a second out of sync, and I'm not sure why. And so yeah, that's something I was trying to figure out. But that's not a problem right now. My time for the whatchamadoodle is up, but we're going to take another... Hold on, I'm going to reset the timer. I'm not going to take a full 2 minutes here. I'm just going to reset the timer so that we've got the timer counting down. But don't worry, I'm not going to take the full 5 minutes here. But what I'm going to do is I am going to go to Twitter, the X thing. Yeah, and I'm just going to post that I'm on. Because I was going to do that, but then I was trying to figure out the audio stuff. Anyway, so I was on the boot.dev podcast, and my audio is terribly out of sync with the video. Terribly out of sync with the video. And I don't know what was going on. And I thought maybe it was on my end, but I think it wasn't, because when I'm looking at it right now, there's no delay between, my audio is perfectly in sync. So I don't know what to make of that. Okay. So let me just post this up on the Twitters. Yeah, posted, done. And then I got to post it in the chat, and then we'll get started. And if my demands aren't met, then I'm going to listen to, what's his name? I forget his name. The guy who does all the he covers all the scams. He's got a new video out. It's got Mr. Beast in it. So Mr. Beast, he's not the brightest tool in the crayon box. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't mean disrespect to him in that, because it sounds like, oh yeah, it's blah, blah. No, it's like there are people who are bros, and there are people who are kind-hearted bros, and there are people who are mean-hearted bros. And Mr. Beast is like a kind-hearted bro. He's not necessarily a thinker, right? I like that he's got great success is absolutely wonderful. I'm not even at a level where I can applaud him, where that would even mean anything, right? Because I'm like an absolute nobody. But I think he's been part of some scams, not out of malice, but just because he doesn't. I mean, and I think that's pretty common. I think most people aren't thinking, very many steps ahead. He's not a thinker. That's all I'm saying. I'm not, and it's not bad. Okay. It's like 50% of people are below average intelligence. Okay. 50% of people are stupid. And that's not derogatory. That's a fact. Like 50%, if you're in a room with 20 people, 10 of them are stupid, right? Okay. We could whittle that down. 5 of them are stupid. 10 of them are within the average range of intelligence. 5 of those 10 are on the below average side, but within the range, within the curve. And then 5 are above that, right? And 1 of them is an idiot. And then 1 of them is highly intelligent. And, people, we gripe, oh, he's an idiot. But the thing is with idiots, and we shouldn't be that way. We really shouldn't, because it's not their choice. It's not like they woke up and said, hey, I want to do stupid today. Like they are not capable, or maybe not capable isn't the right term. They do not have it's not natural to them. It's not natural to them to recognize patterns and things and to see more than one step ahead, right? That it's not a negative moral quality. Even I often say it like it's a negative moral quality because culturally that's what we do. But the thing is, half of people are stupid. Half of people are below average intelligence, right? Like anytime you have an average, anytime you weight things, and I guess again, like maybe to say half of them, a quarter of them would be more fair. A quarter of people are stupid. That's just the way it is. That's the bell curve. And, people say, oh, well, they got intelligence in different ways and yada, yada. Sure. But in terms of like the ability to reason about something and think, more than one step ahead, it's like, anyway. So my point is, I've watched a few of Mr. Beast's video. He's a funny guy. He's a kind-hearted guy. He seems like the kind of person that you want around, right? But he definitely doesn't seem like the kind of person who thinks more than a couple steps ahead. He's got really good intuition about things that are funny or interesting, and his intuition drives him, and he's an intuitive person, not a INTP. So the N is for intuitive. The IE is S is for sensing. No, what is it? I forget what the personality types are. But anyway. But yeah, apparently he was involved in he was in the thumbnail. He was in the thumbnail for this other video. Anyway, so let's get on with it. And sometimes people ask me, well, okay, I'm going to keep tangenting for just a second. Some people ask me, do you think anybody can code? My answer is absolutely not. I think that the bottom half of people probably shouldn't code. Certainly the bottom 25% of people in terms of intelligence, in terms of rational intelligence, because you talk about emotional intelligence and this intelligence and that intelligence, whatever. The bottom 25% of people should not touch keyboard when it comes to, something that's going to be entered in a command or whatever. And along that metric doesn't mean they're the bottom 25% of human beings, because there's lots of other characteristics aside from intelligence, such as intuition, that are really, really useful. But it's like, if we're talking about rational intelligence, no, not everybody can become a programmer, or at least not should. You can be a good person, a worthwhile person, a person of high value, without being of high rational intelligence. And we see lots of people out there who are. Anyway, that's all to cover my tracks of my my terrible use of language earlier. But yeah, it to some degree it stands. Anyway, so here's the thing that's going on. I've got a bunch of things that are going on. So let's see, do I have a to-do here? Let's see, to-do.txt. I'm going to create a to-do here. So one thing we have is failed backups. Another thing we have is Alpine service files. Oh, another thing. Hold on. Is this still going? Okay, we still have the background music is going. Yes? Yeah, the background music is going. I don't hear it. Yeah, I don't hear it at all. Interesting. If I switch my output, then I think I'll hear it again. Let's see. Interesting. No, I do not hear. I don't hear the music. Where'd the music go? I have a thought as to what may have happened. Hold on. Sorry. Slow start today. I think what may be happening is, are we outputting to the system? Catch up. Oh, okay. Hold on. All right. There we go. Now I got it. Now I can hear again. Okay, anyway, so I need service files for Alpine, particularly so that my Restream container starts up. What else we got going on? We got some OSDs that need to be added. Also, for Proxmox, I just want to basically redo everything. Or not redo everything. There's a server that I want to redo, and then take that video and edit it. So say, hey, here's what you need to do if you have a server that failed and you don't have a backup of it. Here's what you need to do to replace it. It is not as simple as it seems. It's, I mean, there's got to be a way to, like if you had created a template for the server and then you want to do a TFTP boot to get the server up and running again or something. But I was kind of hoping it's like, okay, the server dies, I'm going to reinstall something, and then server's going to work again. But you have to do a lot of manual steps. If a server just fails, because the whole thing with Proxmox is it's assumed that you're going to be using Proxmox backup server. So if a server fails, if node 10 fails, you're going to restore node 10. But in my case, like, I don't care if node 10 fails, right? Like, it doesn't matter to me if node 10 fails, because I just put in a new node 12 or 11, whatever. Like, why should I care if any particular node fails? Why do I need to back up a node? The node doesn't have anything important in it. Well, the node does have important stuff on it because it's got an IP address that it was using. And if you want to reuse that IP address, you got to unregister it from a bunch of things. So Proxmox replace node, we might do that. And then I might trim that down and put that on the Beyond Code channel because that's kind of a cool video. Okay. So first thing we're going to do then. Oh, and then we got Julia on Webby. And then we got Webby 2024, the edition. What's it called? V 2024. We're gonna get Webby 2024 deployed. So that's on the docket for today. So no paid work today, I don't think. Well, other than investigating failed backups, maybe. I think that's just gonna be there's a case of something's in the wrong folder. I don't think there's gonna be anything particularly interesting about that. I think I just set up backups the wrong way. Okay, let me turn speakers down, turn volume up. There we go. Good old analog. Okay. And I've ordered... So we never got the... Okay, so here's the thing. One of the guys that's working on this with me, one of the really important guys, his son died. And so that was the reason that the project kind of went full stop, like everything halted. Because that was... You know, that was a... You get it, right? But now we may be getting the BNNA project back on track. Since, you know, there's been, I don't know. I don't want to speak to it because it's, I don't, yeah. But, you know, you get it. So I just ordered the backup drives because we never actually got the backup drives installed in the backup server, because the backup server is supposed to do the backups for the, you know, these nodes that like literally need no backups, but whatever. But that's different. Failed backups is not that. I'm talking about a bunch of different things here. By the way, how's everybody doing today? How are y'all doing? What's up? What are y'all up to? Hey, hello chat. Welcome. Do we have any friends here? Do we have first timers? Do we have old timers? Okay, I'm going to go into backup server. All right, backup server. And I'm going to try to figure out what's going on with backup notifications. I think what's going on. So here I am in the backup server. And I'll tell you what I think's going on. I think that the backup notifications is just scanning the directory incorrectly now. So let's see. What was this doing? Check backups. What's going on here? Let me see. This is kind of a one-off. I think I've got this in a repository. I hope I've got this in a repository. Do we have a .git there? Even if we don't have a .git here, I think that this is in a repository. I just may have copied over some files here. Anyway, so we need to go to systemd, system, and then backup notifications. Okay, or not. Check backups and notify service. There we are. Okay, so what are we doing with this one? Oh, interesting. Experimental fetch, huh? Oh! I think because this server's too old. I need to spin up a new version of the server or do a dist upgrade. Because I'm using a boba straw, I have the psychological effect of there being boba in there, but there isn't. But like, I'm feeling the boba with my tongue that I know isn't there. Okay, I'm gonna get my hair down. I got good enough. Okay. Bin, check backups and notify. So let's take a look at what this is. First of all, do we really? It's really not a Git repository. I swear that this is a Git repository, though. I think just the Git folder wasn't copied over or something. I will double check on that. Okay. Okay, that's not the right one. All right. Checker. I have no... What did I call this for? What? Bless me. What am I doing? This is retarded. Why did... What was I... What was I doing? Oh... Oh, okay, 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 okay. Yeah, I'm doing a poor man's cron here. So... Alright, I get it. I get it. The reason I was doing it this way was something to do with when it first starts up, we want it to... I think we want it to run once no matter what. And then... Once it gets closer to the actual time, then we want it to run it again or something. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, it's going to wait. It's going to wait twice. Alright, and then oldest is now. I'm going to check backup DIRs. Alright, backups DIR. I think this is the problem right here. Mount backups. So, we've got this, and then... that's not what I expected. What? Something weird happened here. Oh! Okay, something bad happened. Because the backups are running every 7 minutes. That's why we're out of disk space. Okay. Alright, that makes sense. Okay. No, is that... No, they're running every 8 hours, right? Because this number is incrementing every 2. Yeah, that's correct. That's what it should be doing. So something's still wrong, though. We've had nothing new since... Okay, because it's failing over and over again. Oh, wait. Hold on. Now it's running too often. Now, something's going wrong. There's... Okay, I see something going on here, because this is the day, and this is the hour. Okay, and so for the last several days, let's see, starting on sometime, starting around, let's see, the 17th, it started running backups every so many minutes. All right, that's what our problem is. Okay, I see what our problem is. I kind of know why. Because I changed the way that worked. Let's look at the logs. We probably need to delete a bunch of stuff first. So let's just go backups. Let's just delete everything. Let's backup star. Backup 2023 12 20. Get rid of everything on the 20. Everything on the 19. Everything on the 23rd. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, now let's see what our disk free looks like. Okay, now we've got a bunch of stuff free again. That's great. I should have done the disk free before, but I didn't. Alright, so our problem is literally backup prod 8 hour back.sh. Deploy backup all 8 hours. So end of day, start of day, at minute 38. All right, so it's going to back up, and then this might be our problem. Something here might be failing. I'll have to check the log. Something here might be failing, causing the service restart, and the service just runs back up. Because what should be happening is it should say, okay, it's going to run at this time. So let's comment this out. Whoops. Okay, this song's a little too hardcore. I'm skipping it. So it very well could be that something failed, and then it's just starting the service over again. And then that's how it filled out the backup drive. Yeah, that's my guess. Okay, so we're going to take a look at journal control. Zifu. I don't know what I called it. Let's get into fish here so we can actually... check backup and notify service. Yeah, that one's working just fine. Alright, something weird's going on. There it is. Alright, failed to start. Go, command not found. Okay, so it's not calling the backups. And I know why. Because I got high. Because I got high. Because I got high. That's not it. I created the backup service before I'd added Go to the path. And I'm using Go as a scripting language in this case because reasons. Don't judge me. Or judge me if you must. But all we need to do here is do a little swap-a-doodle. Oh, changing read-only file. Let's sudo that. It just needs to have that in there. That's all that was happening. All right, cool. So, let's restart the service. Hold on. We're going to re-enable this because I actually want to see the backups go. And then this should call any of the backups. Hold on. We need to also remove... let's see. Backups star.sql. Okay, good. And then we need to see... Let's just take a look at backups star... Okay. So those all end in sql.xz, those end in tar.xz. Do we have anything that does not end in xz? All right. And then all of these are going to get culled. So this is going to be great because we have all these extra backups. Actually, they're not going to get culled. I would have to change something in order to cull them. So what we're going to do then... how are we going to do this? They will get culled eventually. But will they get culled soon enough? Probably. I'd probably just leave them alone. Okay. So that one was simple enough. Something wasn't in the path. Backup service started. Backup tasks starting. It's doing a backup. Cool. So failed backups. That's off the list. Next thing on the list is going to be Alpine service files. So the question is, do I want to add that directly to Serviceman right now? Or, let's see. Whoa. What is this music? This is Metroid? Sounds very psychedelic. This is Winter Holiday Tunes, by the way. Okay. I'm thinking about this. I need to take a look at Alpine service files that I have. Actually, I can just look at the cheat sheet on Webby. That should be good enough. Okay. Thinking for a second. All right, we're gonna find. Move this over. Web install.dev. Serviceman. What a typical init.d script looks like. I think we're going to do some Go development. I think we're going to go over to Serviceman. Well, maybe, I don't know. Can I do this reasonably? With the POSIX shell. Because on Windows, I still have to use Serviceman, but could I just use... Well, actually, maybe I could use PowerShell now. Could I do what Serviceman does in a basic way without using Go? There's like a lot of if statements that need to be there. I mean, if we can constrain it more, I can. All right, so I have example D. command user. Command args. Which I don't really know why we would put that there. Okay, log output. I actually need to check this somewhere. Hold on. Interesting. E end. E begin. E end. Depend. Let me take a look at this. Open init RC. Open RC init. Okay, need net. So I'm hoping that that's not distribution specific. And then what is the difference between supervisor daemon and S6? What's up, chat? How's it going? If you say something, it should pop up here. Let me make sure that the chat is working today. It's okay, you know, if y'all want to be quiet, it's alright, it's alright. But let me just make sure that I see the load madoodle. Because a little the other day I had messages coming in and I didn't see them. Something had gone wrong and I just need to refresh it. Oh. Okay. Ugh. Written in C. Ugh. Well, I mean, what is supervised written in C++? Because that would certainly be worse. Or Python? I mean, that's not as bad because, you know, well, I mean, it's worse in that then you have to have Python as a dependency, but at least it's safe. But I doubt. I don't know what supervisor's written in. Okay, I'm sold on S6. So there's only the only difference between it is that S6 is something that you can use without having init. It can replace init as well as supervisor. Okay, got it. Makes sense. I'm sold. So my question would be, why not S6? Why isn't everything just switched over? But now that's what I want to know now is give me the argument against it. Because I get the argument for it, 100% convinced, love it. Ooh, that would not be nice. Okay, so it sounds like the reason to not have it might be that it's only for containers. That it's its own init system. Okay. Let's see. Was it called S6, right? Oh no. Hmm. Interesting. Very early support. When was this document? 6 years ago. Certainly it's not still very early support then. Hey, what's up, Josue? Watching and working. All right, cool. Have a good one. Or enjoy, not have a good one. That's like more of a goodbye. But welcome and enjoy. Okay, open our C-ROM. Okay, this is not exactly extensive documentation here. Supervised Xamarin is still in early development. This is still considered experimental. That's okay, so they just never updated this in 6 years. They just like it worked and then they never updated it again. I need to look up log rotate. Alright, so add log rotate, then what? Okay. Is that really all we need to do? We don't need to... Do we need to set up? Is there a default cron system? What is Alpine periodic? Why don't my cron jobs run? Okay, it looks like cron D is there. Already started, already at the default run level. Okay, so the image that I'm using, cron already runs. Great. Pomegranate Mountain Dew. It's the best. Oh, what's this one? I think this is... How do I tell which one's playing right now? I think this might be the Final Fantasy one. Final Fantasy IV. Hymn to the Crystals. Ah, again by Rebecca E. Tripp. I love so much of her stuff. Assuming it's actually her that's using that moniker. Men and their girly names. Okay. What the heck is a Raptor Talus? Okay, we're going to go down the rabbit hole just a tiny bit. Just a little tiny bit. Also, I'm going to check on those backups. Oh, okay. All right, so I see backups are actually failing. All right, so I'm doing myself no favors over here. Okay, so I'm pretty sure audit. I need to look at something. So there's a view that's not being backed up, but I think the view is actually corrupt. We ran into this problem a while ago, and I thought that we had fixed it. So I'm going to go into the database that I think has this problem. And I'm just going to delete the view because show create view. Okay, good. It doesn't exist in that database. All right, let me check the next one. Okay, prod. Weird. Okay. I'm very confused as to which database has this table. Because obviously one of them has it. But I don't see it in the prod database. I don't see it in the demo database. I'm pretty sure I just checked the dev database. But it's complaining about can't back up this view, but the view doesn't exist. So why is it trying to back it up? We deleted that view months ago. Because it was a corrupt view. Somehow we changed something that the view depended on, but apparently when you make schema changes, and this makes no sense to me, views don't get checked. So you can change an underlying schema, and then when you go to use the view will just barf. But shouldn't it know? Okay, here's a bunch of views. These views reference these tables. If you change, modify the table, then the view should throw an error if it would break a view or something. Okay, I guess that would make migrations hard because you need to create or replace the view. You need to make the change and then you need to create or replace the view. I don't know, but there should be some warning at least. Okay, as far as I can tell, none of the databases have the view that's being complained about. So I need to take a look at this a little closer. All right, ProdDB, DemoDB, StagingDB. That's what we're looking at, right? StagingDB, DemoDB, ProdDB. ProdDB. Staging DB. Demo DB. All right. I'll let that run again and hopefully I see where it fails. Yeah, because it was just starting over and over and over again, but the reason it failed was backing up a view that doesn't exist. So I'm very confused. Maybe connecting to maybe it's actually backing up one of the databases that we're not using. Maybe it's got the wrong credentials or something. Anyway, that I'm all doing on another screen. I'll come back to that later. That's what this was about. I was looking for that view. Okay. So, have I got... Oh, we're going to take this brief detour. What the heck is a Raptor Talos? Oh, good. Starting at a cool $10,000. That's what I was hoping for. DDR4 is so last century. Are we on DDR7 now? Oh, that's cool. I like that. I don't know what BMC means. For you, baby. For you. Dang. Oh, entry level. Oh, entry level. A nice $6,000. You know, for people that aren't ready to dive into the $12,000 computer, there's the entry level just for you. Or for ninnies, you know, if you want the ninny board, you can get the basic Talos 2 for just a cool $5,000. What? The main board only is $3,000? The CPU is $1,000 and it's 4 cores. What? Oh, at least the heatsink's only $200. And the screwdriver's only $22. Okay, I'm starting to feel like I'm getting ripped off. Okay, like, I don't know. Maybe the processor is actually worth $1,000, but when you're selling me this screwdriver for $22, I'm starting to get suspicious that you might just be ripping me off. $22 for the screwdriver? Is that because I get free overnight shipping or something? Oh, let's just take a look at this item. Okay, then we're gonna get back on track. I just want to know what a Talos 2 is. Okay. Okay, Tecton, reasonable brand. Okay, $7 with Prime shipping, which right now Prime shipping doesn't mean anything. Very interesting, you know. Like New Year comes along and they're like, Prime, 2 weeks shipping. Yep, it's your free Prime shipping. Get it within 2 weeks. Let's see, I got something that might get delivered today that I ordered, I don't know how many weeks ago. Oh, interesting. This is not good. I also ordered some new hard drives, but one of for the backup system. But one of the reviews for it said that everything looked new. It was a new packaging, everything, and they ran the smart status, and it had something like 4 years of runtime on it. Let's see. There was something I ordered before Christmas. Let me see if I can find it. I just ordered it because it was so cheap. I don't even need it. Isn't that the worst? When they get you on a deal? But I will use it. I will use it. It's just I didn't need it. I wouldn't have gotten it if it weren't so cheap. Okay. Arriving Saturday. I ordered this December 8th. It's 20 days. Well, it'll be over 20 days. Almost 3 weeks. Yeah, well, yeah. Okay, over 3 weeks since I ordered it. And it will arrive on Saturday. Oh, man, I need to return a bunch of stuff. Oh, and apparently somebody stole... We got our niece a video game, and somebody stole it. This package theft. I think it was actually the Walmart employee that stole it, and the reason I say this is because I know, at least in Virginia, Walmart employees steal people's packages all the time. The employees steal the packages. Had this happen, I called in and reported it, and they won't do anything about it, I don't think, because a certain political situation that's happening in Virginia. So they won't do anything to the employees that are stealing customer stuff. They just ship it out. Like, why are you going to have, so think about it. If you're having this problem where employees are routinely stealing customer items, so the employee delivers the customer item, but takes stuff out of the bag. Okay. But you're not going to fire those employees because it would cause political turmoil to fire those employees for stealing. So why wouldn't you just have it shipped from the warehouse or something? I mean, like, the amount of theft that's going on, at least in Virginia, with Walmart packages is insane. I personally witnessed this. I had an entire bag stolen. It was reported as delivered. I received 0 items, and other people that I talked to said that they would have things where their order would be missing items. You know, like strategically missing items, not like, oops, I forgot. Like, the employee just took the item and pocketed it. So anyway, because that's happening a lot in Virginia, in where our niece lives, which is not too far away from that area. Well, I mean, politically not too far away from that area, not like down the street or anything, but it has a similar political problem in that area. I'm guessing that they're just going to send out a new one. That when we report that the package never arrived, they're just going to be like, "Oh, how'd that happen?" Well, we know how it happened because we've seen it. Like, we've witnessed it. Anyway. Yeah, and then also when I was at Walmart, another weird... Okay, we had an item that didn't have a tag at Walmart in Virginia. And we decided just to see what would happen. Like, are they going to ring it up? Because it was something that was on sale. It was like $20 instead of $40 or something like that. And so it was on sale. We could see it was on sale in the app, but then we couldn't actually get... Yeah, there was no tag on it. And we took it to the register to just see what happened. And the lady just rolled her eyes and threw it in our bag. And I thought, well, that's weird. And not only that, but she put something else in it. I mean, this is the weirdest thing. She took another item, put it in the bag that had no price tag, and then put it in our bag. And that's like a weird form of theft, right? And I like, what do you do about that? Like the cashier knew it was very strange. It was very strange. Like the cashier was just pissed off that there was no tag on the item. So rather than calling for an item lookup, she took another item that did have a tag, put it in the bag, and then just put it in our cart. Like, so she stole for us because there was no tag on it. It was weird. It was so weird. Like, our experience at Walmart in Virginia was just, it was so strange. Like 2 or 3 interactions that we had like that where, you know, either we got a bag and it was missing stuff strategically, or we didn't get a bag and had to redo the order, or we bought something and they just didn't ring up items and just threw them in the bag for us, that was just weird. But it's like, what do you do in that situation? It's strange. Anyway, so back to this OpenRC thing, because I got way off the beaten path. All right, so we're gonna use supervised daemon because I don't know what else to use, or I don't understand the other problem. The S6 thing. And let me just see if S6 exists on this other system. No, it doesn't. Okay, so I think S6 is more specifically for some sort of Docker scenario, but I don't even understand that because Docker itself, if a Docker system dies, doesn't it just restart automatically? Isn't the supervisor just part of Docker? Okay, anyway, so what am I going to do? The system that I'm concerned with is Restream. So I got this Restream service. Restream. Etsy init.d. Okay, and this is what it looks like, yeah? So there's start, stop, daemon. Start, stop, daemon, and supervised daemon. And I don't remember exactly what the difference between those two was. Okay. Okay. So I need to make a template for this. Okay, I think I know why I was using Go for this. Okay, for this one, I'm just going to try it out just so that I can see what it's like. But okay, so we've got name, description. We're not going to have check config. Let's get rid of that one. No extra commands. Huh. Check and bring. Stop pre, we don't need that. Reload. I don't think we're actually going to have anything about reload. We're just going to let it do stop and start. Let's see if the other ones. And I think all we need is need net. I don't know about local mount even. I think we just trim it down to need net. We'll be good. Okay. So here is our OpenRC file then. Can it really be that simple? Do we... Oops. Okay. And then what's the other one we got? I kind of want to get rid of example D ops. That just seems stupid. Run arguments, yes. Extra commands, no. Output log. Okay, this is weird. I'm skipping this music. Oh, sorry, Hostway. I read your comment in my mind and I didn't read it out loud. Learning from Apple. The profit is in the dongles. I don't know. Apple doesn't really sell many dongles anymore. The profit is in making non-replaceable batteries to be extra green and save the environment, and in having guaranteed failure for SSDs. By the way, I wonder what my lifespan is on my SSD right now. Amazon says, we're very sorry your delivery is late. We apologize for inconvenience. You better. It's really weird. I think a bunch of these things are going to arrive late. It's really weird when Amazon gives you a range of time. Like, arriving between today and tomorrow. That's a good indicator it's going to get marked as lost or running late. When they can't tell you when it's going to arrive. That's just weird. I like the soundstage on this. Alright, so now that other backup is running. The backup takes a long time to run, by the way. It takes several minutes to export the database, which is why we have it run before start of day and after end of day. The staging, the demo and dev databases, they don't take so long. But the production database, it takes a long time to run. But I don't think anybody's using it today, so I'm not worried that I'm slowing things down. Okay, so run check config. We don't have a reload. Okay, so this is as simple as it needs to. This is as simple as it can be right here. It can be this simple. Okay, so the question becomes, how do we have it? Command args with spaces. How do we do that? Do we just put single quotes around it? Okay, so I think that it's connecting to a different database. I think the database that is backing up may not be the right database. Where is it getting this hold on. All right, I'm back on the other screen. I'm looking at the database problem because that popped back up, or it advanced. The backups. The backups advanced to backing up the next database because I have backing up databases in sequence. All right. So where is it getting the information about what database it's backing up? Oh, did I set up another database? It looks like I did. Okay, so apparently there was another dev database. And it's backing up the wrong... Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know that we're backing up the wrong database. Okay. Okay. Huh. I wonder when we started doing that. Yeah, so when I updated part of the backup system last week, that's when this started happening, where it's just backing up as quickly as it can. That probably explains some slow queries I was experiencing. Okay. Blah! Okay, that's... I think that's solved then. I'd solve that. Alright, culling task completed successfully. Alright, so just double checking here. Yeah, we got plenty of disk space left, so yeah, I'm gonna let those continue to run. And then let me I need to make a message to somebody about the failed backups to let them know that that's taken care of. Okay. So this looks like this is actually pretty easy. Well, learn programming. Which programming language should I start with? Go. Golang. You should start with Golang. And I'll give you some good resources. Creeds of Craftsmanship. So you can go to creedsofcraftsmanship.com. And then from there, if you click on issues, you can see resources for learning Go. Go is not often a first programming language. The reason for this is kind of a paradox. Go comes from the tradition of people who have learned from their failures. So Go is a very, very easy language to learn because it's very simple and it's created by people who are true experts. And there's lots of great resources for learning Go. If it's like, oh, you know, what should I start with? Boom. Here's a few things to start with in terms of reading material. You know, what are some other good resources like cheat sheets and stuff? Boom. There you go. So, you know, you want to watch great talks about Go? Boom. Here you go. You want to learn about its philosophy. You want to see, you know, its evolution. There's just tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of really good resources for learning Go. Now, of course, it depends on what you want to do, because if you want to become a game developer, then Go is not a great programming language to start with. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Depends on what kind of games you want to make. If you just want to make some really simple games just to learn the logic, then yeah. But if you wanted to, you know, deploy something with Unity, then of course you'd need to learn C# or whatever. Yeah. You want to be a web developer? Of course, you know, this depends on what you mean by web developer. Go is the kind of the modern web language. And it's been around for over a decade, so it's not like it's, you know, some weird new bleeding edge thing. It's very mature, very stable. It's what all of your web stuff is written in: Kubernetes, Docker, traffic, Caddy, you know, you name it. It's all written in Go. But, you know, the important thing about Go is to learn Go from Go developers and not learn Go from, say, Java developers or C# developers or F# developers. Oh, yes, I have a specific person in mind. You know, learn Go from people that like Go. But Go is probably the easiest language to learn, and it's high value in terms of the money that you get for it. You can find a lot of good design patterns for how to use it. There's lots of good communities for it on Meetup. Go is, in that way, the perfect language. And it's a great language to start with. So yeah, but you know, you're not going to be writing CSS in Go. So, you know, sometimes when people say web developer, what they mean is somebody who writes CSS, in which case the only language that you learn is CSS. There is no other language for you to learn. What's up, Blessif? How you doing? So, anyway, yeah. And I think that you should learn more than one language at a time. I don't think that you should learn many languages at a time. I just think that you should learn more than one. Because there's a lot of stuff about programming that it just makes, just to be honest, it makes you sound stupid, right? So people talk about learning Python. They're like, yeah, you know, I know how to do loops because I'm learning Python. And, you know, Python has loops. I'm learning how to do if-else because Python has if-else. You know that? You know, I'm a pretty good if-else developer. You know, and like, I get it. People are excited about what they're learning, but you just sound really stupid when you're only learning one programming language because you talk about stuff as if it's, you know, to you it's a new revelation, right? But you talk about stuff that exposes how ignorant you are. If you learn two languages simultaneously, it's like, oh yeah, every language has an if. Every language has a loop. Every language has some sort of object structure. Every language has some sort of array/vector structure. And so that's why I think that learning two languages at a time is really good. And I think that learning, Go being one of your languages is a good idea. Being your primary language is a good idea. You could look at other languages like Zig or Rust. JavaScript, the thing that's hard about JavaScript is that there are no good resources for learning it. There's infinite bad resources for learning it, but I can't point you to a single good resource where I would say, you know what? This is a really great getting started in JavaScript. aside from Croc.js. That's the one thing, and I think I've got that linked on Creeds of Craftsmanship as well. So if we go back here, if you look for JavaScript, Crockford on JavaScript, right there. So this was creedsofcraftsmanship.com. Crockford on JavaScript. If you want to take a look at that, that's kind of the best way to learn JavaScript. I can't think of a better way. That's the only resource I can recommend. Whereas with Go, I can, just off the cuff, I can link it. I can link it to half a dozen places without thought. With JavaScript, very, very difficult to find good resources for it. But eventually you will need to learn some JavaScript. You will have to. Is it one of the languages you should learn first? I don't know. I'd kind of say, I used to say learn Python, but now I kind of feel like don't learn Python. And the reason for that is Python is actually a great language to learn. It is a terrible language to program with. And it has become so popular again for all the wrong reasons. I mean, it's become popular again because it's easy to learn and it's easy to teach. And there are good resources for Python. But it's a terrible language. And it's not that it always was a terrible language. It's that we're in 2024. And in 2024, well, almost. You just shouldn't be using Python. It's not, it is very, very bad for web development. It's great for sysadmin stuff, like little scripts. It's terrible for machine learning. There's lots of libraries for it for machine learning, but in terms of performance and its features, parallelization, the types of things that are critical in order to do machine learning well, it doesn't support them. So, some stuff like that. And then also just general learning about programming. Philosophy of Software Design by John Ousterhout is so incredibly excellent. I really have to highlight that. Anyway, so Blessif, I'm doing good. Which one's better for machine learning? Okay, well, I think that you've got a few options. There's R, Julia, and Rust, and those are the ones that are going to be the best for data science, and your AI, your machine learning, your stuff like that. Those are the ones that are going to be the best in terms of what the languages offer. So one of the core things that you need if you're doing any sort of modern artificial intelligence is you need parallelization. You need to be able to run multiple things at a time. And I've personally used Julia a tiny little bit, but Julia does this. Rust does this. In Rust, you have a lot of integration with similar libraries, and there are some libraries that are kind of taking over some of the popular Python libraries. So the Python libraries aren't written in Python. They're written in C, and the problem is that you get a lot of slowness from passing objects back and forth between C, or you get a lot of slowness in making multiple copies of the objects, and then you can't do anything in parallel. So if you want to do something in parallel, you have to have another server that, it's just really bad. It's really, really bad. Python is a great way, I think one of the reasons Python's become so popular is AWS. AWS makes a fortune on Python because it's so slow and it's so inefficient, and it basically has all of the inefficiencies that cost you the most money possible on AWS. So AWS, like Amazon's not going to be using Python internally, but are they going to sell you on Python? Oh, yes, they are. Like, why would they not sell you on something that's 100 times slower, that has lots of dead CPU wait times, that uses up tons of memory in bursts? Because that's all stuff that they can oversubscribe on. So, like, Python is the perfect language for AWS to sell to you, because it just makes them buku money. And, the processing aspect, it can be slower on, but the memory copies is something that they can completely oversubscribe, because internally they can fine tune the memory so that they could sell you a bunch of memory, but they could fine tune it so that if the memory is serial access or something, I wouldn't be surprised at all if they're not using some technique that allows them to just put that on SSD. Because the memory access you need is actually not fast. You don't need fast memory access for most of what you're doing in Python. You just need virtual memory. You don't need actual memory. You need virtual memory. And I would imagine that AWS capitalizes on that. But even if they don't, you only need it for a little bit of time here and there. So you're paying a heck of a lot for something that you don't really need to use very often. I mean, it makes it great for something like serverless. Pay for 8 gigabytes of RAM on serverless to run a Python task. Like, what could make them more money? You need you need an excessive amount of resources for a little bit of time. I mean, it is the perfect thing. If you were in AWS sales, you would be hammering people to learn Python all day long. But yeah, Rust, Julia, and R. Julia seems pretty simple to learn. I don't know that the community is very simple, but I don't know that the community focuses on simplicity, but the language itself looks pretty simple. You're looking at it, but then their hello world for their example code section is the Mandelbrot set, which for their target audience is probably the right thing, is complex numbers. But it's that's not a good hello world. And they claim it's a general purpose language. No, it's not. No, it is not. It is a data science language. It is not general. It has some general purpose features. It is not a general purpose language. It is a data science language. Let's be real, people. Okay. So what is it that I actually needed to do here? I can get rid of this. Okay, is this really all we need? Okay, it looks like when we boil it down, this is it. This is our open rc init.d / whatever. But I am going to need this again because I'm not sure. Let's see if this can run. Okay, let's go here, bin. All right. OpenRC, MPL. Okay. All right, my title, what is this? This is going to be Restream API daemon. Okay. Listens for authorized API requests and sets Restream title, desk, etc. Okay, what else? We don't need a description. Reload. I mean, this is it. This is the bare bones right here. That's really all we need. That's actually pretty simple. And most of the time, it's going to be running root. All right, so we got name and description out of the way. We'll do command. And then what can we do here? How do we get, was it real path? Is it real path? Why have I not been using real path all the time for everything? Huh, okay, real path. We got real path. You're welcome, Blessif. Blackif. Bleesif. What's Arg Pop again? I think it's shift. What was it? My Arg Star. This is a little tough. Because I don't know how you escape this. And I probably need Go for doing the escaping on this. Bless me. May the blessings flow as far as the curse was found. The user equals ID user number, no name, and ID group name. Oh, whoops. This is output log. See. All right, so I think this might be it. This might be all that I needed. But then with some of the system detection and yada yada blah, you know, oh, oof. Gotta update serviceman, and then I'd also have to have something to run to do if it's a Linux system and that netcap setcap netbind is available. Got to run setcap netbind. And if it's a, we'll see if this works with a shell script. I don't think it will, but I want to see. Okay, we need command name is going to be base name Whoops, I'm not in a Git repository. Okay, so let's run serviceman add, then a restream sh start, and then I help me foobar baz kooks do. Oh, good. Oh, right. This would be 1. And then shift. That's right. And then 116 again. Command name. Command name. Okay. Bad expression, unmatched slash. All right. Bad option and substitution expression. I wonder what would that be. You know, instead of slash, we probably need to make these a comma. Let's replace slash with, here we go, slash with comma. Or maybe a semicolon. I don't know. Semicolon's really unlikely. Let's do semicolons. Colon we're definitely going to have. We have to think of some character that we're not going to have that doesn't have special meaning in a regular expression. I think semicolon's the way to go. Because if we do slash, we're dealing with paths. So that's obviously not going to work. Okay, let's try this. Yay! Okay, that's weird. All right, does this work? No, it doesn't. It kind of works. We can work with it. But the reason it doesn't work is the command args right here. These would need to be quoted and escaped appropriately. But I feel like that's something that's doable. Okay. Restream API daemon. Oh, this is interesting though. Open RC. It doesn't. How do we specify the path? All right, I need to know how to set the path. Okay. Okay, what are they saying about directory? Alright, so we need to look at the man page for OpenRC. Okay, man OpenRC. Okay. Seems good enough. Let's try this template. Okay. Worked-er. Okay. And then what about path? OpenRC environment variables. Okay, so you just shell script it. All right, here we go. Oh, there we go. Ah. Line 26. Let's see. Okay. Oh. All right, I think that this is right. So let's go ahead and copy this. And then after all of that, what we'd actually need to do is we need to put this in Etsy init.d. And then we would need to okay. And then let's see, what else will we need to do? We'll need to run that RC. Let me go over here. Check out what I got. Holy moly. See if I can find. Sudo RC service B command name start and sudo rc update add B command name. Let's just do restart. Huh. Wrong permissions. Begin not found. Weird. Interesting. Ooh. Ooh. I think I see a problemo here. Yeah, I don't know how to get around this. Hmm. I would imagine that this is related to changing the path. That's what I'm going to guess. But if we run this again... Okay. So maybe I need to man... Yeah. Okay. Here we go. ENV var equals value. All right, because what I'm expecting to see here, we got a var log. I expect it's just going to fail. Oh, interesting. Um, Whoops. Alright, so there's the path. That actually looks fine. Alright, so what do we do next then? Okay. Unable to open log file. Permission denied. Okay, app. Got it. Okay. So we still need that. Oh. How are we going to do this? Ah! Where was the check config stuff go? Okay. Okay, so let's say root and www data. It's a good thing that testing this out first this way. Actually. Okay, example D. Command name. 23. Unexpected end of line. Bless me. Alright, creating directory. Oh, whoops. I actually don't want check path. Directory is not what we want. Var log. Okay, check path. OpenRC check path. Check path, directory, file. Okay, got it. So you tell it dash dash file. Creating file, correcting owner, creating file, correcting owner. Ayo! All right. Oh, I wasn't looking at that. Let's see. Custom ENV support. Oh, dang. I didn't even realize that there was stuff coming into here. Ah. Proof of concept. I'm gonna have to take a break here in a minute. Okay. All right, I think I could do that. I don't know if I want to do that today or not. Maybe I will. It is something that's kind of been a hang up for a while for me. So, we'll see. But I'm glad I got the proof of concept out of the way. And now, I should be able to take this and transfer it between instances without too much trouble. So let me get into... Let's get into PvE 1 here. This is mostly all just my stuff. So I'm going to switch the high availability group for the restream one. So we're gonna put this in a high availability group. Let's see, which one is restream? Oh, the ID. Okay, name. Here we go. So Psychedelic is the Metroid one again? It's the Metroid one again. Alright, so we're going to put this one in group Prefer 2. Alright, and so it should just move its booty on over. We should see it pop up here in just a second. So restream status, yeah, it's migrating. Boom, so it's migrated. All right, it's done. Migration is complete. So now I was disconnected because it migrated. All right, it's not reconnecting right away. Could be because it's still booting. That's a really slow boot. I don't know why it'd be taking so much time. Okay, must have been just a really, really, really slow boot there. All right, boom. Okay, cool. So, and showed that it worked.
It's a Unix system. I know this.
All right. Cool beans. There might be some other stuff that needs to be done there as well. But I think that's pretty much it. Okay. All right, so where are we at on our list of things to do today? It is 1:30. I've been at it for 3 hours. I've got 2 things done. Feel pretty good about that. If we look at the Proxmox OSDs, let's go ahead and just take a look at that. So if we look at the Ceph cluster, it's 100% clean. Monitor status here is unknown, which is kind of weird to me. So let's go take a look at that real quick. So let's go look at our Ceph. Let's look at monitors. So can I just destroy this monitor because it's not running? Nope, can't destroy the monitor. All right, can I create the monitor? Nope, can't create the monitor. So I think the reason that this got this way, I think, is because it was running a different version. So if I go in, let me just, I'm okay with the fact that the host identification changed. The reason for that being that it actually did change because we replaced that server. because the OS drive failure. Well, we replaced the OS drive, reinstalled the server, everything. You know, all of its machine identifiers are different. Okay. Or its install identifiers. All right, so next thing to do then is I think if we look at Ceph config, first of all, I think we have to go into Etsy PVE Ceph. Yeah. All right, so we would just need to remove this monitor from both of these locations. And that should be good enough. Yeah. Okay. So then if we were to just refresh this, if we just look over here and then look back over here. Okay, it says, so let's do, maybe we actually do need to do, was it Ceph? Mon remove PVE3. All right, so you say, but then over here in the user interface, it says that it stopped. So I do have some documentation I'm going to reference real quick on my other screen because it's got replace a failed node. Add a node to the cluster. I actually need to move some of the data from the add node to cluster. I need to move some of that elsewhere. So before joining the cluster, cephmonstat, let's do cephmonstat. All right, do we see PVE3 in here? No, we don't. Good. PVEceph.conf. Okay. So I'm guessing maybe the problem there is just that it needs to be removed. Like maybe the service that's doing this needs to be restarted. Because I don't know where it's getting that information from. Whatever. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that. Let's go take a look at the OSDs. So basically the disks. I think we should be able to mark these as in. And what's going to happen is it's going to get really fussy about it when we do. So I might need to make this screen wider. Okay, there we go. So in. All right, so this is probably going to cause it to go haywire for a few hours. Yeah. So see, now it's thinking that it's got a bunch of stuff that is... now it needs to rebalance, essentially. And so it may take a couple of hours to rebalance. And for some reason, I don't understand. The rebalancing speed is ridiculously slow when I'm adding new OSDs. So I mean, you know, it's saying that it's copying at 3.71 megabytes per second. That doesn't make any sense. There's no world in which that's right. It says it's going to, take between 2 and 5 days to rebalance. So I don't know what that's about. I'm just going to let it run for a while and see what happens. Because right now it thinks that there are a total of 46 nodes or groups, 46 groups that are the wrong size. So I'm not exactly sure what it's going to be doing. But we're just going to let that run for however long it needs to run. And I really am not understanding what's with the group sizes. Maybe it's kind of like a partitioning thing. Like if you're removing nodes, it's really easy. That may be what it is. It may be that when you're removing nodes permanently, then you just need to reduce the size so nothing actually needs to move. But if you're increasing the number of OSDs, then you're increasing the size of the groups. And so then everything needs to move. And maybe it's just, gets slow or something. So we'll let that run. We'll see what happens. I'm suspecting that it's going to fully recover. I don't understand why so slowly, because these are all SSDs. There's nothing that's rotational in there, and they're all the same size. I mean, I'll just double check on that, but I mean, there could have added something wrong by mistake. No. It's all good. But you can see right here. And so what's going to happen is it's going to rebalance, and then the general usage of all of these is going to drop. And so I think what I need to figure out, I guess there's no real way to, maybe there's not a real way to deal with it. But I want to redo this process again, where we just drop PVE3 on purpose, and then I go through and see if I can get it back up much quicker. That's going to take an hour or two just to get the operating system set up, because I have to load the operating system over 100 megabit connection in both directions, because I'll be reloading it from here. I don't know. We'll see. But I suspect what we should be able to do is I should be able to just drop this, and then everything that's on here should start up properly on either PVE2 or PVE4, because that's what the group rules are, is that all of those things try to start on PVE3, but if they can't, then they split between PVE4 and 2. So we'll see. And then what else? So that's down there. And then we'll get Julie on Webby, and we'll get Webby V 2024 underway. Okay. So I'm going to take a break. I'll come back later, and then I'll probably just be working on Webby for a bit. So thanks for joining in. Catch you later. Like, sub, follow. If you want to, let the one who guide you. And I'm out. Adios.